Hello gardening friends, welcome to Backyard Basics. You know, sometimes we get fire ants in our containers and it's tough to control them, but we can do it naturally. We hate to get these guys in there. All of a sudden you find them one day, you pick up the container and there they are. You can prevent that though. There's a good way to prevent it. You go to the hardware store and you find some of this screen like this, and it's used to repair the windows. Keeps the screen out there and you can fix them all the time with that. So you go buy a little piece of that. It doesn't take too much. And then you cut off a piece of it. Depending on the size of the container, you'll pick them to be different sizes. A small container or a large one like this. This screen fits all the way across, and that way they can't make their way in there. Pill bugs are another problem too. So if they've already moved in there and you didn't put the screen on there, well, there's other ways of controlling them. Molasses works very well. It's surprising. My assistant uses molasses in order to control fire ants in her containers. And so she'll use this molasses as a drench. 2 tablespoons in a gallon of water, and you drench the plant with it. And she's had very good results, and I've heard that from many other folks. Some of these blends with molasses will contain a rosemary oil. That's a nice one, a very good one, a new one kind of. And then orange oil is another one. That combination right there of orange oil and molasses or the rosemary, boy, that works very well. So it's a good drench, and it doesn't hurt the root system of the plant. So I think that's one of the ways of controlling them, preventing it. So another thing that we need to do is make sure that the plants are nice and healthy and vigorous. You know, when you buy them at the nursery, they've been fed a long time. And the grower brings them in, the nursery has them, and if you don't feed them, here's the growing cycle. They're being fed, and then all of a sudden you stop feeding them. Well, they're not as vigorous as they were. So the main thing is to continue to feed the plants. And you can do it naturally. There are many products to do it naturally. One of the things to do is you take that good potting soil of yours and maybe put one of the granular fertilizers in there. So in a while, that one will be available. But right off the bat, go ahead and continue to feed. Some of the fertilizers are high in a middle number, the phosphorus, and that promotes root systems when you plant it. And if they're already established, you'll get many more flowers on it. So that's the type of product to use. The seaweed is another very good one. It has some hormones that stimulate roots and really keeps the vigor of the plant up there, and it builds cell vigor. And so in the heat or in the cold, the plants don't crater so easily. So that's another one of them. Fish emulsion and seaweed, another very good choice for you. It works very well. It's one of the better fertilizers out there compared to one of the chemicals that you might have used. And you'll see the nice results that you get when you use these organic products. There's a product called Has to Grow. This is one of those that promotes those blooms. So take a look at that one. That's a very, very good choice for you. And there are many others actually. So it's not just the Has to Grow. Take a look at the fertilizer, make sure it's organic, and look for that high middle number for roots and for more flowers, because that's the beauty of these plants, to have a lot of flowers on them. One of the other things to do is use that seaweed to spray the plants with to prevent spider mites. Spider mites can be a problem in our plants, all over the different types of plants out there. And so prevention is done when we use a little bit of that seaweed spray. And you can spray it on there too. Use it as a foliar and then spray underneath the leaves, because that's where those spider mites might show up. So a good fertilizer program makes the plants healthy and vigorous. You bought them for their blooms. Well, keep the blooms going, keep that feeding going, and you'll have a wonderful plant. You know, those containers are not that big, so the reservoir is very limited. So you're going to have to feed with a little bit more frequency. Well, there you go. Controlling fire ants in the containers and having a lot of blooms and establishing a great looking flower in your pot. That's what you can do with these natural products. For Backyard Basics, I'm John Dromgoole. I'll see you next time.